The United States, the strongest military power in the world. It dominates the global chessboard, shaping everything for its own interests. Being its ally equates to safety, while being its enemy guarantees unrest. The United States stands unmatched. Besides being a global economic powerhouse with pervasive influence in all monetary policies, the United States stands as an unmatched combat force. There are 5 main reasons for this. It has the largest military force, spends more on defense than any other country, setting the benchmark for its competitors, boasts the highest number of military bases supported by the best, largest, and most aircraft carriers in the world. Its military equipment is the most advanced, produced domestically, and widely used by other major nations. Lastly, and most significantly, it is a member of the world's strongest military alliance, NATO, which includes 30 major countries. If an enemy attacks, all these countries would join forces with the US, but even on its own, the United States rivals the combined strength of dozens of other nations. Want concrete proof? Let's delve into the unmatched military prowess of the United States in detail.
U.S. Navy has significantly contributed to securing the nation's victory carrier. This class consists of 10 nuclear-powered aircraft carriers and has been active since 1975. The Nimitz class is also the largest after the Gerald R. Ford, with a length of 333 meters and a weight of 100,000 tons. Since beginning operations, the Nimitz has participated in Operation Eagle Claw in Iran, the Gulf War, and most recently in Iraq and Afghanistan. The per-unit cost is around $10.1 billion. This aircraft carrier can carry between 85 and 90 fixed-wing aircraft and helicopters. In the realm of corvette-type ships, the United States utilizes the Freedom class. This vessel can arguably be paralleled to a frigate as it boasts a cruising range of 4,039 miles, capable of continuous sailing for 21 days at a speed of 47 knots, which is roughly 54 miles per hour. The United States actively operates about 10 units of Freedom-class ships, available in various variants. Besides the Freedom class, the United States Navy also commands the Independence class. Slightly slower than the Freedom, with a speed of 44 knots or about 50 miles per hour, it has a range of 4,953 miles. There are approximately 14 active ships available in various variants. Moving to a larger vessel, the frigate, the United States has reintroduced the construction of the first frigate after a 35-year hiatus, named the Constellation class. It spans 495 feet in length, weighs 7,291 tons, accommodates up to 200 crew members, has a range of 6,835 miles, and can reach speeds up to 30 miles per hour. The United States Navy has ordered a total of 4 units and plans to produce up to 20 units. The United States destroyer fleet includes the Arleigh Burke. This is the United States' most successful and productive destroyer since World War II, boasting the longest service life. One of its primary missions is as an anti-ballistic missile platform. The United States owns a total of 72 active fleets. In addition to the Arleigh Burke, the United States also operates the Zumwalt. This is the world's largest multi-role destroyer, capable of anti-aircraft, anti-surface ships, and anti-submarine missions. Thus, it has been dubbed a stealth ship. The United States owns 2 units of this type of ship. For amphibious ships, there are 3 types. Some function as assault ships, command ships, and transport dock classes. The United States employs the Wasp and America classes for Angeles class and an enhancement of the Seawolf. It can even be stated that this is the most modern and advanced submarine in the world. There are also manned submarines used to transport United States Navy SEALs and Special Operation Mission Equipment, known as SEAL Delivery Vehicles. These submarines have been used since World War II and have contributed to battles such as the Gulf War, the Iraq War, and the United States intervention in Somalia. The SDV submarines were then replaced by the shallow water combat submersibles. In addition to the naval fleet, the Navy is also supported by aircraft that operate in the open sea from aircraft carriers and only encounter land when in enemy territory. For fighter aircraft, the United States Navy has the F/A-18 Super Hornet. This can be considered a fighter aircraft that exceeds the capabilities of fourth-generation fighter aircraft. The United States also has the Lockheed Martin F-35 Lightning II, a fifth-generation fighter aircraft with multi-role, agile, versatile, and high-performance capabilities. The United States Navy also utilizes transport aircraft for strategic, tactical, or emergency aid missions. There are a total of 93 transport aircraft of various types serving the United States Navy. For electronic warfare aircraft, the United States has the E-2 Hawkeye, EP-3 Ares II, E-6 Mercury, and EA-18 Growler, specializing in dampening and disrupting enemy radar, including air defense radar and surface radar systems. Helicopters operated by the United States Navy include the V-22 Osprey, MH-53 Sea Dragon, HH-60 Rescue Hawk for search and rescue, MH-60 Seahawk anti-submarine, and SH-60 Seahawk. Meanwhile, unmanned aerial systems, which are also a crucial asset for the United States, total 80 units. The United States Navy is also equipped with standard equipment such as the M17 pistol made in Switzerland and the M9 made in Italy, light machine guns MP5 and MP7 made in Germany, assault rifles M16 and M4/M4A1 made in the United States, and grenade-based weapons like the MK19 and MK47 Striker. Projection. Even with a formidable, experienced fleet, the United States, that in naval warfare, the larger fleet almost always wins. And this is what is happening now. China's numerical superiority will likely cause the United States Navy to lose in any war. China is expected to increase its warships to 400 ships, while the United States fleet is under 300 ships and only targeting 350 ships. This means it is still far behind China. Even if we look at the global firepower release about the total number of warships and Navy submarines in the world, the reality is that the United States is only in fourth place.
The country known as Uncle Sam never runs out of topics to discuss. Especially when it comes to intervening in other countries' affairs, America is a specialist. For instance, in the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, America was one of the most proactive countries supporting Ukraine, as evidenced by President Joe Biden's visit there. In this conflict, America was also accused of excessive intervention related to the damage of Russian gas pipelines leading to Ukraine. America's boldness in intervening is certainly not without reason. After all, in terms of military power, America currently ranks first in the world, which we will discuss in more detail. When talking about the military, we certainly can't ignore the financial aspect. According to data from globalfirepower.com, America is the country that invests the most in financing its military. Just imagine, the military budget released reaches $761 billion. This fantastic fund is obtained by America by drawing about 3.26% of its GDP, which reaches $23.32 trillion. Based on the same data source, America's madness about this funding becomes clearer when compared to the country below it. Russia, which is in second place, only allocates about $82 billion, while China, which is in third place, only allocates $230 billion. With that fantastic fund, the United States finances various things to improve its military quality. One of them, of course, is military personnel. Formally, the total number of U.S. military personnel reaches 1.832 million personnel. Of this number, 1.39 million are active personnel and the other 442,000 are reserve personnel. This American military personnel is divided into regular troops and elite troops. We are certainly familiar with American elite troops that are often heard like Delta Force, Navy SEAL, or Green Berets. This number is indeed large compared to other countries, but the story becomes different when compared to the population. The total number of members of the American military is only 0.5% of their total population, which reaches 337.34 million people. Then, only 1.22% of the total men of military age range from 16 to 49 years, which reaches 148.43 million people. This unbalanced comparison is indeed realized by the American government. Therefore, all men of military age there are required to register with the U.S. Selective Service System so that the government has data if at any time conscription must be enforced.
Backlist area secure! Run!
In addition to strengthening personnel, American military funds are also used to support the strength of the main equipment weapon system. In this case, America must be financially strong because it is one of the best weapon-producing countries in the world. To see the main equipment and weapon system owned by Uncle Sam's country, let's start by discussing the Army. Based on data, America has 5,500 tanks, 303,000 armored vehicles, 2,339 artillery launchers, and 1,716 rocket launchers. Amazingly, all the main equipment and weapon systems owned by America are domestically made. In its development, America innovates on its main battle tank, the Abrams, by launching the Abrams X, which was introduced in October 2022. This tank will be a fourth-generation tank with AI support in various lines. Starting from the ability to see through the Distribute Aperture Camera System, or DAS, which uses two high-tech cameras and AI to determine objects around the tank. In terms of weapons, Abrams X will use the XM360 120mm cannon, which has a technology called Future Combat System. This technology provides the ability to fire various types of ammunition, dampen recoil shots, to use AI as an automatic weapon filler that recommends the type of ammunition to be fired. Then the most special feature is drone mounting, where Abrams X can launch drones from its body for various purposes, from reconnaissance to attack. In addition to developing its main tank, America is also improving rocket launch technology. In October 2022, America successfully tested its new hypersonic rocket, which can reach speeds of up to 3,852 miles per hour. With this speed, it's not difficult for America to reach its rival countries. Now, let's move on to America's naval main equipment and weapon system. From the data obtained, America's naval weapon is very luxurious. Starting from having 11 aircraft carriers, 9 helicopter carriers, 92 destroyers, 22 corvettes, 68 submarines, 10 patrol boats, to 8 minesweepers. This data is indeed astonishing, especially when discussing aircraft carriers that actually cannot be owned by all countries due to their very high costs. In America, their most famous aircraft carrier is undoubtedly the USS Ford, which was built with a budget of $13 billion. In terms of specifications, this ship can carry more than 75 fighter planes, making America's position always strategic. Not to mention, when discussing weapons, the USS Ford is expected to be the aircraft carrier with the most complete weapons in the future. How not? In addition to using heavy machine guns and missile launchers, the USS Ford will get an update in the form of a laser weapon. This weapon is intended as the main interceptor of hypersonic rockets like China's DF-17, which has a speed of more than 3,728 miles per hour. Therefore, from the updates received, the speed of USS Ford's laser firing can reach a speed of 185,794 miles per second. In addition, a railgun will also be installed for ship-to-ship combat. From land and sea, we now turn to the Air Force. Here, America is also very superior. America's main weapon ownership starts with 2,757 fighter jets, 4,895 support aircraft, to 6,567 helicopters. In the Air Force main equipment and weapon systems section, America has invested heavily in recent years. One example is the B-21 Raider, a stealth bomber. The plan is, this new aircraft will launch and operate in 2027 with a total estimated budget of $2.2 billion for one unit. Later, this aircraft will have extraordinary flying capabilities and can go undetected while carrying out a series of bombing actions that become a nightmare for America's enemies. Hopefully, the combat capacity of this aircraft will never be used because it could cause many casualties. Well, that's the discussion this time. See you in the next discussion.
The United States, known for its penchant for military might, and possessing some of the world's most potent armed forces, boasts an array of advanced military equipment that is envied and revered across the globe. No wonder many of its innovations find takers in various countries. Here's a look at some of the most sought-after military equipment made in the United States that has found favor overseas. Diving into firearms, we can categorize them into three main types: assault rifles, machine guns, and sniper rifles. One of the top-selling assault rifles in the US is the M16 and its subsequent modifications. The M16 rifle has, over the years, become the standard weapon of choice for numerous countries worldwide, including 15 NATO member states and over 80 other nations. The M16 was first designed by Eugene Stoner in 1956 and was first deployed in 1963 during the United States intervention in the South Vietnam War. Since then, the M16 family, which includes variants such as the M16A1, M16A2, M16A3, and M16A4, has been the backbone of the US military's rifle arsenal. To date, about 8 million units have been produced, with several companies handling its manufacture over the years. The M16 stands out for its reliability, long-range shooting capability, and ease of maintenance. Notably, it's quite lightweight, tipping the scales at just 8.6 pounds when fully loaded. This makes it lighter than its Russian counterpart, the AK-47, which weighs approximately 9.5 pounds. Its proven effectiveness in multiple battles has cemented the M16's position as a primary choice for numerous countries arming their troops. Transitioning to machine guns, there's the M249 light machine gun. This weapon is the American adaptation of the FN Minimi light machine gun from Belgium, originally produced by the Belgian company FN Herstal, introduced in the late 1970s. The US customized its version to fit its needs for a rapid-firing automatic weapon. Produced under the umbrella of FN in South Carolina, it was christened the M249. Since 1984, this machine gun has been extensively used by the US Armed Forces, especially in conflicts like the Persian Gulf War, the war in Afghanistan, and the Iraq War. The M249 chambers 56 by 45 mm caliber ammunition and has a capacity for 200 rounds. What makes the M249 a favorite among troops is its relatively lightweight build. Fully loaded with 200 rounds, it weighs about 22 pounds, making it easier for soldiers to carry it across battlefields. Each unit of the M249 light machine gun is priced at $4,000. To date, there have been 10 different variants of the M249, and it has been exported to 30 countries outside the United States. Now, when we delve into sniper rifles, the M24 sniper weapon system is the most sought after. The M24 was uniquely designed in 1988 by Remington Arms for sharpshooters or snipers. This firearm stands out for its remarkable precision. It is used to target and eliminate enemies from a distance with pinpoint accuracy using 7.62 x 51 mm caliber ammunition. The M24 is equipped with various accessories, including telescopic sights, bipods, and sometimes eye shields, all of which help the shooter achieve even greater accuracy. The M24 has been a popular choice internationally, having been exported to and used by security and military forces in 16 countries outside the United States. Shifting our focus to the skies, the F-16 Fighting Falcon is a supersonic multi-role jet fighter that has captivated nations. This versatile jet can handle a plethora of missions, making it a favorite among 25 countries worldwide. Since its initial production in 1976, 4,000 F-16 units have been manufactured by Lockheed Martin. A distinct advantage of the F-16 over other fighter jets is its compact design. It spans only 49 feet in length, with a wingspan of 29.5 feet and a height of 16.4 feet. This sleek design makes it harder for enemy radars to detect, giving adversaries a tough time trying to target it. Despite its small size, this jet is capable of carrying almost all types of anti-aircraft missiles. Furthermore, the F-35 Lightning II, also a Lockheed Martin masterpiece, has won the hearts of many countries. Australia has procured 72 units, Israel boasts 50 units, Finland has 64, Germany 35, and South Korea has acquired 40, among many other nations. As of January 2023, a staggering 890 units of this fighter jet have been produced. What makes the F-35 Lightning II so enticing? This stealth multi-role fighter jet is crafted to excel in a variety of military roles, including air dominance, ground attacks, and aerial defense. It's decked out with the latest in cutting-edge technology, boasting state-of-the-art radars and sensors, advanced communication systems, and sophisticated electronic equipment. Depending on the variant, the F-35 is armed with a range of weaponry, but one thing's for sure, this fighter jet is equipped with air-to-air missiles like the AIM-120 AMRAAM, AIM-132 ASRAAM, and AIM-9X Sidewinder. And for air-to-ground missions, it carries missiles like the AGM-154 JSOW and AGM-158 JASSM. Next on our list is the Boeing AH-64 Apache attack helicopter. Which for the past 37 years has asserted its dominance as one of the world's top combat helicopters. This powerhouse has been deployed in numerous conflicts, including the Gulf War, the Iraq War, and many other global confrontations. It's lauded for its unmatched combat capability in varying terrains and weather conditions. Over the years, the Apache has embraced advancements, incorporating state-of-the-art avionics and weaponry, such as the Hellfire missile and the M230 30mm cannon. These armaments provide devastating firepower, effectively eliminating ground and air targets. As of April 2020, a whopping 2,400 Apache helicopters have been produced, and they are currently in service with 17 nations. Leaving the realm of aerial combat assets, let's focus on land warfare equipment. At the forefront, we have the main battle tank EM-1 Abrams, a brainchild of Chrysler Defense, in production since 1980. Only 3 variants have been crafted so far, the M1, M1A1, and M1A2. The tank typically measures 32 feet in length, 12 feet in width, and 8 feet in height, weighing in at a colossal 81 tons. Powered by a turbine diesel engine churning out 1,500 horsepower, this beast can reach speeds up to 46.6 miles per hour and has a range of 265 miles. Its primary armament, the L-44M 256A1 smoothbore cannon, has a capacity of 42 rounds with a firing range of up to 2.5 miles. Given its remarkable performance in theaters like the Gulf War, the Iraq War, the Egyptian Revolution, and the Saudi Arabian-led intervention in Yemen, it's no surprise that 10 countries have confidently invested up to $8.92 million per unit to integrate it into their forces. Additionally, the Humvee, or High Mobility Multi-Purpose Wheeled Vehicle, is a light military truck produced by AM General. Since its introduction in 1983, it has been deemed the backbone of the United States Armed Forces. And its popularity isn't just on paper. Over 281,000 Humvee units have been produced and are currently operational in 66 countries worldwide. Impressive, isn't it? We also have the MRAP, an acronym for Mine-Resistant Ambush Protected Vehicles. The U.S. Department of Defense launched this initiative in 2007, primarily as an armored vehicle to counter the threats of roadside bombs during the Iraq War. This armored vehicle's versatility quickly made it a favorite, as it can be adapted for multiple roles, ranging from transportation and patrolling to convoy security, combat reconnaissance, and even as a weapons platform. Next in the lineup is the air defense system known as the Patriot, or more technically the MM-104 Patriot. This ground-to-air missile system, manufactured by the American defense contractor Raytheon, stands as a testament to engineering brilliance. It's designed with the precision to detect, track, and intercept a diverse range of aerial threats, encompassing ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, fighter jets, and UAVs. Introduced in 1981, the Patriot's prowess in defending regions from missile and aircraft threats has been demonstrated in multiple global conflicts. To date, over 10,000 units have been produced, with 17 countries, including Ukraine, boasting these in their defense arsenal. The anti-ship Harpoon missile, on the other hand, enjoys its own brand of fame, celebrated for its ability to launch from significant distances and strike deep-sea targets, which include surface ships, aircraft carriers, and enemy warships. This missile first saw the light of day in 1977, brought to life by McDonnell Douglas, and is now under the wing of Boeing Defense, Space, and AMP Security. Its versatile design allows for its deployment across diverse platforms, be it warships, aircraft, or ground launchers. Purpose-built to counter enemy ships, its high destructive power marks it as a grave threat to opposing naval forces. The production numbers tell their own story, with around 7,500 units produced in 32 countries, harnessing its power. Last but not least, meet the MQ-9 Reaper drone, a sizable unmanned aerial vehicle produced by General Atomics, first introduced in 2001. This drone can be marshaled for a myriad of missions, from reconnaissance and surveillance to monitoring and aerial strikes. What's more, it can stay airborne for over 27 hours, reaching speeds up to 298.25 miles per hour. The MQ-9 Reaper can also soar to an altitude of 9.3 miles, allowing it to effortlessly hover around its targeted location. Speaking of firepower, it's no lightweight. It can carry up to 16 deadly Hellfire missiles, mirroring the armament capacity of the Apache helicopter we discussed earlier. Quite impressive for a drone that measures just about 36 feet in length with a wingspan of approximately 72 feet. However, superior tech comes with a hefty price tag. An MQ-9 Reaper can set you back by $56.5 million US. Even with its steep price, it's in high demand. To date, 8 countries outside the United States have added it to their defense portfolios. This list comprises France, Italy, Japan, India, the Netherlands, Poland, Spain, and the United Kingdom. The ability to harness military power from the skies is a game-changer in modern warfare. The United States has been rocking this since 1907 with the United States Air Force, or USAF for short. That means the US Air Force has been ruling the skies for over a century. China's Air Force has always dreamt of outdoing the US, but so far, no dice. Well, the US pretty much has the upper hand in almost every aspect. Let's talk numbers. The US Air Force boasts 332,854 active duty personnel, 71,400 in the reserves, 185,522 civilians, and an additional 106,700 National Air Guard pilots, who are like the backup squad for the US Air Force. These numbers alone can outmatch the entire armed forces of many countries. Being one of the 6 service branches alongside the Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Space Force, and Coast Guard, the U.S. Air Force has some major goals. They're all about air superiority, global integrated intel, surveillance and reconnaissance, rapid global mobility, global strikes, and command and control. In the US, when it comes to military spending, the Air Force is the big spender, even outdoing the Army. For 2023, the President's budget request was a whopping $773 billion. Breaking it down, we've got $177.5 billion for the Army, $194 billion for the Air Force and Space Force combined, and $230.8 billion for the Navy and Marine Corps. Now, you might be thinking, wait, that's less than the $876 billion from 2022. And you'd be right. The reason? A resolution that's all about budget allocation. It's making them tighten the purse strings even though the Defense Department has to deal with global events, like Russia's invasion of Ukraine. But let's keep it real. When it comes to military budgets, the US is still the big kahuna. Just the budget for their Air Force alone is more than the entire military budget of almost any other country except China. Take Russia, for instance. Their entire military budget, just $86.4 billion. Meanwhile, the US Army's budget alone stands at $177.5 billion. What's the deal with the US Air Force's arsenal? With such a massive budget, it's a given that the US is the country with the most air combat fleets in the world. So, it's only fitting they're dubbed a superpower, a dominant force, and a major player. Let me break it down. The main stars of the show are the aircraft owned by the US Air Force. It's undeniable. This force is the most advanced and super powerful globally. Let's start with the fighter jets. When it comes to air superiority, the US is arguably the king. Aircraft of this kind are coded with an F, standing for fighter. Their mission? Escorting aircraft, repelling enemy planes, and patrolling key areas. The US Air Force has a variety of fighter types. First up, the F-22 Raptor, a stealth jet undetectable by enemy radars, zooming at 1,500 miles per hour. Its sensors and weapons? They're said to be super lethal, ensuring air dominance and supporting the missions they undertake. Next, the F-35 Lightning II, another stealth jet that can fly at supersonic speeds, agile, versatile, and high-performing, offering capabilities never seen before. Then there's the F-16 Fighting Falcon, a multi-role jet with top-notch air combat capabilities. And lastly, the F-15 E Strike Eagle and F-15 Sea Eagle, designed for all-weather conditions. Other fighter jets are those with ground attack capabilities, typically used for close air support missions. These aircraft start with an A code, which stands for ground attack. The US has the A-10 Thunderbolt. This aircraft excelled during the Iraq War, suppressing enemy air defenses and fighter threats. In total, the US owns about 281 A-10 Thunderbolt units. Next up is the AC-130 gunship, a modification of the C-130 Hercules transport plane, transformed into an attack aircraft and nicknamed the Shooter from the Sky. The AC-130 gunship was used in the Gulf War, Cold War, and Vietnam War. Currently, only about 26 AC-130 units remain active. Furthermore, the US also has strategic bombers tasked with carrying bombs to hit strategic targets. These aircraft start with a B, which stands for bomber. Among them is the B-2 Spirit. This aircraft is tasked with carrying conventional bombs, tactical and strategic nuclear bombs, with a payload of up to 20 tons. Battle-tested and never once shot down. The US owns a total of 26 units. Another bomber is the B-1B Lancer, exclusively operated by the U.S. Air Force, with a total of 65 units. There's also the B-52 Stratofortress, deployable for various missions, with a whopping 744 units owned by the U.S. For transport aircraft used by the U.S. for cargo transport, there are three types starting with a C, meaning cargo. First, the C-130 Hercules, serving military forces in 50 countries. Two types are still active for the U.S. Air Force, C-130H and C-130J, totaling 324 units. Then there's also the C-21A Learjet, a versatile business jet. The third one is the C-17A Globemaster, a colossal aircraft measuring 174 feet in length and with a wingspan of 170 feet, capable of various missions. There are about 222 units on standby for Air Force missions. As for electronic aircraft, the U.S. has four types. These aircraft are coded with an E, standing for electronic, with duties to jam enemy radars, provide combat information, and offer battle support. The first electronic aircraft is named E-8C JSTARS, responsible for tracking ground vehicles and certain aircraft, collecting imagery and relaying tactical images to ground and air commanders. The second is the E-3B Sentry, serving as an all-weather early warning aircraft, command, control, and communication. The third is the E-4B, and the fourth is the E-11A. In total, the U.S. Air Force possesses 77 electronic aircraft across various types. When it comes to ammunition, ammo is in charge, the ammunition branch of the U.S. Air Force. Its personnel operate and maintain various ammunition equipment, including missiles and bombs. In the military world, these two types of ammunition play a crucial role as they become the ultimate weapon in critical situations. The U.S. itself possesses various missiles and bombs with power tens of times greater than the bombs that devastated Hiroshima-Nagasaki. Take cruise missiles, for instance. The U.S. has the AGM-86 ALCM. It's a subsonic air-launched cruise missile deployed by the Boeing B-52H Stratofortress. Weighing around 1,400 kilograms, it's 20 feet long, has an operational range of 683 miles, and speeds up to 553 miles per hour. There's the AGM-158 JASSM developed by Lockheed Martin, with an operational range of 230 miles. But the most well-known is the BGM-109 Tomahawk, an all-weather cruise missile with subsonic speeds. It weighs about 1,300 kilograms, has a range of 1,553 miles, and speeds up to 547 miles per hour. For hypersonic missiles, the U.S. once tested its first hypersonic missile, the AGM-183 ARDW made by Lockheed Martin. Its speed? 5 times the speed of sound, clocking in at 3,853 miles per hour. Although successfully tested, the U.S. Air Force faced a series of issues preventing its use, leading to its replacement with the Hypersonic Attack Cruise Missile Project, said to have an operational range exceeding the ARRW, at 994 miles with speeds of 5,344 miles per hour. Meanwhile, the U.S. Air Force possesses 4 types of intercontinental missiles, with extraordinary destructive power. There's the SM-65 Atlas, with a range of 5,498 miles and an explosive yield of up to 4.5 megatons. Second, there's the LGM-25C Titan, boasting a range of 9,307 miles and a 9 megaton yield. Third, there's the continuously developed LGM-30 Minuteman. The Minuteman III has a range of up to 8,699 miles, but its explosive yield is only 450 kilotons. As for bombs, the US has the thermonuclear B-61 bombs, the primary bomb that survived post-Cold War. There's also the thermonuclear B-83 bomb, with an explosive yield of 2,400 pounds, roughly 60 times more potent than the atomic bomb dropped on Nagasaki. The US's laser-guided bombs include the GBU-10 and GBU-12. Meanwhile, cluster bombs include the CBU-87, CBU-89, and CBU-97. Supporting its Air Force performance, the US is also equipped with standard equipment. First, there's the M2.50 caliber machine gun. This weapon was designed post-World War I and remains the primary heavy machine gun for NATO and many countries. Second, there's the M134 GU-17 Gatling gun, a machine gun capable of firing between 2,000 to 6,000 rounds per minute. Third, there's the M16 rifle, used by around 80 countries with a production of 8 million units. Fourth is the M4 carbine, a shorter and lighter version of the M16 assault rifle. Fifth, there's the Beretta M9 pistol, the US military service pistol since 1985. And sixth, there's the GU-8 Avenger, a cannon specifically designed for an anti-tank role. As for armored vehicles supporting the US Air Force, there are 5 types. First, there's the high-mobility multi-purpose wheeled vehicle. Second is the all-terrain vehicle. Third is the lightweight tactical all-terrain vehicle. Fourth is the joint light tactical vehicle. And sixth is the Cougar 6x6 MRAP. In the upcoming era, the rivalry between the two giants, the United States and China, will remain intense. The US must be prepared to face proxy conflicts that facilitate the testing of its advanced technology. NEO, the US Air Force, aspires to shape the future aerial power, which will encompass around 1,000 state-of-the-art drones with full autonomy, complemented by an additional 200 stealth fighter jets for air dominance.